Hey, family, how y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Vernon Longhorn Davis. That would be me. I, one each, as we used to say in the Army. This is it. I am he that I am. Yes, I am. So, thank y'all for joining me. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you had a great, wonderful, fabulous weekend because guess what? I did. I hope you had a great and wonderful, fabulous week because I had a pretty good one also. We got a little snow around here. Yeah, baby. I think total we got about 12 inches here in my yard. So I hope you're safe. I hope you're all right. I hope you got dug out okay and that you was able to keep on keeping on. Hey, Miss Nanette, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hey, daughter, good to see you. Yes, you did make it on time today. Hey, Miss Charlotte, great to see you as well. Guys, we are broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and I'm trying it again on TikTok. We'll see how that works out. And we're doing it on LinkedIn. So that's what we got going on. And tonight, y'all, again, welcome everybody back. You know, we've been doing this over 4 years now, and I still get excited just getting ready for the show. And then to get here and do the show, I get excited. I still get excited. So, Brother James, glad you're here. Thank you for making it. But I'm Vernon Davis. I'm the host of your show. And tonight we're going to dive into a topic that I think resonates with all of us at some point in our lives. And so, therefore, the title of tonight's show is Love What You Do or Don't Do It. Yeah. Hey, Miss Ethel, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate that. Saw the picture of your little pretty puppy in his snowsuit, ready to go out and hang out in the snow. But again, tonight's topic is love what you do or don't do it. Now, we've all heard the saying, do what you love, and you'll never work again, never work a day in your life. Yeah, but let's be real. Life isn't always that simple, is it? And I can say for one, no, it's not always that simple. Sometimes we find ourselves in jobs or situations that don't exactly make us happy, spark joy, make us, all giddy. So what do we do about it? What do we do about that? Hey, Roger, good to see you. You and Mr. Jalen. Mr. J, as of Monday, a fresh employee of the Adams County EMS. Hey, congratulations. Congratulations, man. Son, man, that dude is amazing. So, but what do we do? What do we do about it when we find ourselves in a job or situations that don't exactly spark joy? We can sit and stew. We can just suck it up. But before we get into that, first let's talk about why loving what you do is so important. When you're passionate about your work, it doesn't feel like work. You're more engaged, more productive, and generally happier. I know I am. It's like when I'm on stage doing comedy. Sure, it's work. Yeah, it's work. But it doesn't feel like a chore because I love making people laugh. That's what I love to do. There's a sense of fulfillment that comes from doing something that aligns with your passions, with your love, with your values. Like my day job, I actually love my day job. I love what I do. I get to inspire, educate, motivate, and train people to make more money in their lives. And I think that's kind of awesome, in my humble opinion, because everybody doesn't get to do that. So, but it wasn't always like that. It wasn't. It wasn't always like that. Brother James says, and love yourself while doing the job. Yes, you do got to love yourself while you're doing the job. You're right, James. So, but what happens when you don't love what you do? Yeah, a good question, huh? Maybe you took the job that you got because you needed a paycheck. That happens all the time. It's like, look, man, I need this job. I need this money. So I'm going to go ahead and do this here. I don't really want to do this, but this is what I'm going to do. Or it seemed like the right step or the right thing at the time. It popped up. It made itself available. Okay, cool. And I've been there because once upon a time, bleh, I was running a car lot, and then the guy that owned the car lot decided to close the car lot and said, "Hey, we're gonna go into the repossession business." Well, I needed a job, so guess what? I became a repo man, and then we did that for maybe 6 months, and that wasn't really going well. So he said, "Hey, you ought to become an insurance agent." I had no intentions of becoming an insurance agent, none. But I had a family. I needed to feed them. I needed a job. So guess who became an insurance agent? And I did it for 11 plus years. Now, we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I was in that situation. So Roger says you can't love life if you don't love your work, etc. It's one step at a time. And you're right. There's a lot of truth there, Roger. But hey, Miss Marion, thank you for stopping in. She says, good evening, Mad Family. I kind of like that, Mad Family. That's pretty cool. So I did that. I did that. I didn't love what I did, but what I did was, yeah, Missouri Insurance Exchange. Exactly. I can see it now. They can't sue me. But that job took care of my kids up to the point to where they graduated high school, and my daughter graduated from going to school, college, and yeah, it did what it needed to do. But I found some enjoyment in it because that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to find some enjoyment in what you do. I got a friend of mine, comedian Will C. He says, man, you can do anything for 300 seconds. If you could do it for 300 seconds at a time, you can do it. 300 seconds is just 5 minutes. So I used to just get through day by day by day. But again, what happens when you don't love what you do? Yeah, you took that job because you needed it. You had to feed your family, you had to pay your bills. Well, we've all been there, and at one point in time or another. I've had my fair share of jobs that I wasn't exactly thrilled about, but here's the thing. Those experiences taught me valuable lessons. They really did. They showed me what I didn't want, which helped me to focus on what I did want. Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. It showed me what I didn't want, which helped me to focus on what I did want. So Buzz says one job may pay the bills and the side hustle may bring you the joy you seek. Very true. And that's very true, Buzz. That's exactly right. So Marion says State Farm here. Oh, you worked at State Farm? Okay. Uh so I did it when I got out the army. I it was rough. I went back to school and I actually worked at Jiffy Lube as a lower bay technician. You know, the guy up and down on the bottom where all the oil and the fluids is dropping down on him. And yeah, I was that guy. I was that guy, but I was doing what I had to do until I could do what I wanted to do. But I was working there. I was working at Jeans West. I was DJing at nightclubs on the weekend because I had a family. And we talked about that before. And before my daughter brings it up, yeah, it was DJ morphine, 185 cc's are the only thing that Surgeon General says you should put in your body, baby. Yeah, on the ones and twos. I can't believe I still remember that. So, James, you're right. You get old and grumpy. So, Buzz says, "What have you not done?" I thought about that one day. There's not much, but I had to do what I had to do, my friend. So here's the deal: if you're stuck in a situation, if you're stuck in a situation where you don't love what you do, don't just sit there and accept it. Use it as a stepping stone. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can this experience help me get closer to doing something I love? Yeah. Okay, so about matter of fact, 7 years ago, lost my job. I was driving Uber. Yeah, I was driving Uber. And I prayed and I asked God to give me a job that will allow me to motivate, educate, and inspire people and travel. Guess what? Gave me that. And I did that job for 3 years. And I realized and I asked God then, I said, hey, God, can you give me another job that allows me to motivate, educate, inspire, travel, and make more money? And bam, shortly after that, I got it. And what I realized was happening was that job was a stepping stone into the position that I am in now. It taught me the things that I needed to know to be able to do what I do now. So there was things I loved about my previous job, but it was building me, it was preparing me to move forward into the position that I'm in now. No, I've never been in SpaceX, Buzz. I'm not even gonna fix my lips to tell that lie. Yeah, no, you're right. Pretty much a jack of all trades. Well, you've been around me. You kind of know that. But it did. That job prepared me for the job I'm in now. I was in the car business in the 90s, and then I went from the car business to the auto insurance business. And then I went to from that into blah, 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 which got me prepared for where I'm at now and what I do now. So Marion says, if you're not happy in your job, you aren't going to be productive. That's very true. You're just going to do enough to get by. That's very, very true. You got to be, but that's with anything in life. If you're not happy in your job, in your situation, in your relationship, in your church, you're not going to be productive. You're going to do enough to get by. And that's not always good. So, for those of you thinking, well, Vernon, that sounds great, but I can't just quit my job and chase my dreams. No, I hear you. I understand that because I did that. I quit my job to chase my dreams. And I did it for 5 years, lost everything, literally lost everything chasing my dream. I ain't mad about it though. I'm really not. So you can't just quit your job and chase your dreams because you got financial responsibilities, family obligations, and other realities of life can make it feel impossible to do that pivot to change or move in that opposite in that other direction. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you have to give up on doing what you love. It doesn't. It really, really doesn't. Buzz says your LinkedIn must be whack, bro. It's pretty. It's well. I take that back. I broadcast this show over there, but yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty vanilla. Yes, that's a good way to put it. It's pretty vanilla. Yeah, it's pretty basic. How about that? So yeah, you got to start small. Find ways to incorporate your passions into your daily life. Yeah, we've all done it. I know I've done it. You guys have watched me do it. Oh, those of y'all that's known me for the last 10 years, y'all have watched me build one step at a time into the things that I do now. It didn't just happen overnight. So, as Buzz like to say, my side hustle, but maybe it's a side hustle. Maybe it's a hobby, or maybe it's volunteering. The keys to this is to take action, even if it's just a little bit at a time. When I wrote my book, Messages in the Madness, the first one, I didn't know anything about writing a book, but I knew I had been writing these essays and stories for years, and I was saving them on my computer. And then during the pandemic, I sat down and sorted them all out, and Miss Nanette edited those for me. And I said, I'm going to publish a book. Guess what? Bam, there was Messages in the Madness. I said, I'm going to publish this book. I didn't know nothing about publishing this book, but I already had wrote the stuff. We put it together, we edited it, compiled it. And then I got on, I prayed about it. I said, Lord, I do not know what I'm doing, but I would like to publish this book. Can you help me? Bam. I got on the computer and typed in publishing a book. And there was Amazon. Hey, we'll publish your book. No money out of pocket. You just got to do this, and this. Steps, 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 steps. So I was putting things together. And then before I knew it, I had everything that I needed to do something that I wanted to do. Really, really. I mean, it wasn't simple, but it's true. Um, Roger says, great book. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Buzz says, ain't nothing about you, vanilla. You a Neapolitan half. I prefer butter pecan, but thank you very much, sir. Um, James, you're right. Nobody said it will be easy, and it wasn't. My comedy situation. First time I got on stage in front of an audience, a live audience, I bombed. Oh, I bombed horribly. And then I moved to St. Louis and I bombed some more. But I kept at it step by step by step. I had 5 jokes that I loved. And I kept building on those 5 jokes. I get knocked back 2 steps, move forward 1. But that was what was necessary. I had to learn. I had to figure it out. I had to build one step at a time to move forward. So Marion says you got to crawl before you walk, then take baby steps till you can achieve your goal. And you're right, because I tell people in my day job all the time, look, I know you want this success, but babies are not born walking. They simply are not. And I had one guy say, man, that is a great analogy. You mind if I borrow that? I'm like, you take it. You ain't got to borrow it. You can have it. Babies are not born walking. Everything takes steps. So Buzz says, you sure got a chip on your butter pecan. So I'm gonna tell you something else. After leaving the Army, I found myself at a crossroads. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, which is I didn't. But I knew I didn't want to waste my time doing something I didn't love. That's when I discovered comedy. Well, and I discovered comedy before I went into the military. Because I've even in school, I was always uh, able to make people laugh. So it's always been in me. And then my family, if you ever met my mother's side of the family, them people crazy. Oh man, they will have you laughing all day long. But anyway, it was a lifeline for me when I got out the Army. It was a way to heal and connect with others. It was a way for me to handle my PTSD. It was a way for me to move forward. So it wasn't easy, and it took me time to build this career that I have now. Because see, guys, for those of y'all that don't know, first time I got on stage was 1990. Went back to Kansas, then I moved out here to Missouri and did it till 1995. Got off stage in 95, stayed off stage for 10 years, came back in 2005. So I've been back in comedy 20 years, and it has been one hell of a ride. But all of that took steps. And I did a bunch of things in between there that I didn't actually love. But I did what I had to do what I wanted to do. So, and then when my life went haywire, uh, comedy really helped me out a lot. But again, it was worth every moment because I was passionate about my comedy. I was passionate about doing comedy. Another example is my work with with Thank You for Your Service, my nonprofit honoring veterans. It's deeply personal for me and meaningful to me. It's not just a job. I can't call it a job. No, it's not a job. It's really not. It's a mission, and that's what I love about it. So, and that's what loving what you do is all about. Is being able to. It's about finding purpose and meaning in your work. I remember the first time I gave a veteran a thank you card, a thank you packet. I used to print them in the basement of my house on a printer. I could buy the envelopes, print the cards, cut the cards, stuff the envelopes. They were very rudimentary. But that very first veteran that I gave it to, I'll never forget. He was wearing a Second Marine Recon hat. He was a Vietnam vet, and I handed him that thank you card, and I walked away. And I came back, and he was standing there waiting for me. And that man hugged me. He said, "Man, I've only been thanked for my service twice in my life, and you're the second one." And I made it my mission right there to build this thing step by step by step. Now we're over 40,000. But guess what? When I first did this, and thank you for your service, I had no clue what I was doing, but I knew I loved it. Matter of fact, I was working at AutoZone. Yeah, but I knew I loved it, and I knew I had to find a way to make it work, and I did. And you can too. With whatever's going on in your life, you can make it work step by step. You got to find a way. Stop doing what you don't love. And, because like I said, if you don't love what you do, don't do it. Find a way to get to what it is that you do love. So Buzz says, so far I have been in the game 85 through today, 40 years and learning. Buzz, man, I remember the first time I saw you on stage. I thought I was looking at a superstar. I still look at you as a superstar, my friend. So James says, sometimes you have to do other things to find what makes you happy. That's very true, James. More than you know. Um, Daughter said, stayed out of the basement on those days. Yeah, I'd be down there in the basement working, trying to create something. So now let's talk about what to do if you realize you don't love what you do and you never will love it, because that does happen. It's okay to move on. Roger, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. It's okay to move on. Sometimes the best thing you could do for yourself is to let go of something that isn't serving you. It's okay. Life's too short to spend it doing something that drains you. And trust me, trust me, trust me, when you make space for what you love, amazing things can and will happen. Oh my God, my comedy has taken me places I never imagined. Thank you for your service. Has allowed me to meet people I never would have thought I would have met. My day job has taken me to cities that was just honestly, they were just on my bucket list. I've done comedy in places that I never thought that I would. All because step by step by step. And trust me again, as I said before, when you make space for what you love, amazing things can, will, and do happen. I went to Germany 3 times. The first time I went to Germany, y'all, I had $40 in my pocket. That was it. $40. So, Classic Gemini said, that's how I ended up in New Orleans. Dropped everything to try something new. I've had highs and lows, but the good outweighs the bad. Yes. Yes. I'm glad to hear that. And that's very true. So before we wrap this up tonight, I want to leave you with a few practical tips. Okay. I always try to give you something to work with. All right. So Buzz says, I'm driving from South Carolina to the Lake of the Ozarks now. I'm traveling through all this ice just to see those faces. Hey, man, doing what you love, Buzz. I love it, man. I love it for you. I do. So, I mean, Buzz, man, you already know. I admire your career. I do. I really do. So, here's some practical tips for you to take with y'all. First of all, self reflection. Take some time to really think about what you love. What are your passion? What are you passionate about? What flips your switch? What gets you excited? What makes you lose track of time? What is it that you can do all day and lose track of time and just enjoy every minute of it? Brother Terry, good to see you. Then, second, I want you to set goals. Once you have a clear idea of what you love, set some realistic goals. What steps can you take to move in that direction? What do you have to do what you want to do? What is it going to take? And only you know this. And if you don't know this, you need to ask somebody. Oh, there you go, Terry. Fishing. I know you're great at it. Take actions. This is number 3. Take action. Start small, even if it's just dedicating 10 minutes a day to something that you love. It's a step in the right direction. It really is. And then don't forget to surround yourself with support. That's number 4. Surround yourself with support. I'm always telling you, find people who are like minded, find people who encourage you and inspire you. Having a support system can make all the difference in the world. And the 5th one, be patient. Change doesn't happen overnight. Be patient with yourself and trust the process. Trust your process. It's your process. It is. So Terry says, well, if I don't set, I take time to love my wife. I'll be trouble, LOL. I'll be in trouble. Okay, got it. So we're gonna wrap it up here, y'all. But to wrap it up, remember this. Life is too short to spend it doing something you don't love. It really is. If you love what you do, keep going, keep doing it, keep building up on it. If you don't, find a way to change it, to make it better, to make it yours, to make it what it is that you need it to be. You deserve to live a life filled with passion and purpose and having something to look forward to that you love and that you enjoy. Because, like they say, that saying is true. If you are doing something that you love, you never work a day in your life. I'm fortunate and I'm blessed that I love everything that I do. I have done some jobs that I didn't want to do, but now I'm able to do what I want to do. And that right there, honestly, is a hallelujah moment. Hey, Annette, we're glad you could make it. Charlotte says, hey, Miss Charlotte. Charlotte says, I just make lap blankets for our veterans. Can do this all day. Gave one away to a veteran at lunch today. See, passion. Yeah, Terry, see you in 2 months, actually. This is just January. Pins for Patriots is in March. But it is such a blessing. It is such a blessing not going to get a snowblower. It's such a blessing to be able to do what you want to do. It really is. I'm not rich. I'm not me. I'm wealthy with love for my family and everything, but my bank account, doing better than some, but not as well as I'd like. I'm not financially over the top or anything like that. I'm blessed. And man, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't. And I'm not going to tell you it's going to happen overnight for you either, unless you just go out and buy a lottery ticket and bam, it hits. And that would be a blessing for you and yours. And then you be able to do whatever you want to do for as long as you want to do it. But until then, love what you do or don't do it. Or love who you do or don't do them. So that's the message tonight, y'all. I thank y'all for joining me tonight on Messages in the Madness. I hope this talk inspires you to take a closer look at your own life and make some positive changes. Do it for you. Don't do it for nobody else. Do it for you. So, as they say, I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Take care of them kids. Give them a hug for me. Respect our vets. Respect our vets. Again, I'm Vernon Longhorn Davis. God bless you. Until next Sunday, $2.